Today on the Final Cut, two things happen. I'm not on the green screen, we're talking about keyframing, and I'm lounging, baby.
Isn't that three things?
Nope.
Hello, my name is Dr. Donald PhD, and in all my years of doctoring medical services, in which I provide medically related services because I am a real doctor, doing doctoring things for people with medical mishaps, I have seen time and time again one common thread amongst average, ordinary, wonderful, helpless, lovely, understanding, kind, sensitive, selfless. Maybe selfless. Probably not, but I have seen one common thread amongst people with the aforementioned attributes, and that is burrito-zevia blue-ray diarrhea disease. Those with burrito-zevia blue-ray diarrhea disease, or BZBD disease, often experience intense amounts of feelings, stuff, bathrooms, art, a love of zoos, and if the case is serious enough, you may be experiencing a rabid dislike of the words cherry soda. If you were experiencing BZBD disease or any of the previous symptoms, please contact your doctor right away so they can prescribe a medication of some sort that may or may not cure your illness while also causing a myriad of other symptoms for which you'll need several other medications, which in turn will need other medications. So call your doctor today.
Hello, and welcome to the Final Cut, the DIY show shows you apply Hollywood techniques to learn about your project using exclusively fairly complex motion surviving. I'm your host with Ceives, and today I'm not the green screen, so I should probably explain that with explanatory measures
Twisty!
of some kind.
Stop.
Yes.
Twisty!
Yes.
Do it the normal way.
Yes.
Do it the normal way.
I don't want to though. Hello and welcome to the Final Cut, the DIY show shows you how to apply Hollywood techniques to your limited project using exclusively Final Cut Pro, Motion 5, and GarageBand. I'm your host, Twisty, who continually messes up, because, you know. And today, you may notice that I'm not in front of the green screen, which probably deserves an explanation. So let me explain it to you right now with an explanation made up of explanatory words, which in turn will explain the lack of explanation thus far. In other words, my explanatory explanation will explain the lack of some stuff. Yeah, so for those of you wondering why I'm not in front of the green screen, that would be because of the last Final Cut episode. In the last episode, I was talking in front of the green screen, and it was an absolutely terrible key. Unfortunately, we had nothing else to release in its place, so we had to release it as it was. The reason why it was such a terrible key was because of the improper amounts of lighting. Any of you who have any experience with green screen will know that you have to have a solid amount of lighting for the key to work. And I did not, due to the fact that I have been, up to this point, using battery-powered lights. And after seeing what a terrible key the last episode had, I decided that it was time to level up my entire lighting setup. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for my lighting setup to level up, there will be no green screen. Why, you may ask? Why? Well, because I strive to release the highest quality possible. If I'm releasing something and it's not as good as it could be, then that means it's time for me to step back and to examine the project to make sure that I'm not releasing total crap, poop. So moving on from the fact that I'm not in front of the green screen, today we are talking about keyframing. Now, from the opening sketch, you may have guessed that the text was motion tracked in Motion 5, but you'd be wrong! The text was actually very simply keyframed to move with the talent's movements in Final Cut Pro X. What is keyframing, you may ask? Well, according to Google, keyframing is the process of assigning a specific parameter value to an object at a specific point in time. When you set more than one keyframe, motion generates the in-between frames, resulting in a smooth change of that parameter over time. I know that's overly complicated. So let me teach by doing, and hopefully this will all make sense. Jumping right in, once you have your footage, drag it into your timeline. Then go to the point where you want the text to begin and position it accordingly. Once this is done, select your text, click the transform button, and hit the keyframe button at the top left of your display. You can also find keyframing options in your clip's video inspector. So whichever way you want to do it, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter. Once you've applied your keyframe, move forward 2 frames and reposition the text. Then move forward 2 more frames and reposition it again. Continue these steps until the text fluently moves with your footage. When you're done, you should have something like this, something that looks like motion tracking, but isn't motion tracking because we keyframed instead of motion tracked. Yeah. Right? And fake motion tracking isn't the only thing that you can apply keyframing to. For instance, you can keyframe your clip's opacity by selecting your clip, going to your videos inspector, decreasing your video's opacity to 0, hitting the keyframe button, then moving forward as many frames as you'd like, and bringing the video's opacity back up to 100%. And there you have it, a simple fade in. You can also create a digital zoom by keyframing the scale of your shot to increase or decrease over a certain period of time. Simply select your clip, go to your video inspector, hit the keyframe button by scale, then move forward the desired amount of frames and increase or decrease the size of your clip. And voila, voila, voila. A simple and classy digital zoom. In essence, keyframe can help to bring life to an otherwise dull shot. It can animate pretty much anything in your editor if you're persistent and creative. I'll be 100% honest, you won't get this right on your first time trying. I mean, you may. But it may end up taking many hours of learning, but with practice, you'll be able to create some pretty unbelievably cool things utilizing this very basic concept. And that's all we have here today. If there's an effect or something that you'd like to see explained on the show, feel free to email me or message me on my Facebook or my Twitter, or just comment below. Comment. And I'll see you next week when we answer the questions of old. Good delivery? I thought it was a good delivery. Good delivery. Silence, is that silence a yes?